Always wearing his Colt gear. Unfortunately for him, Andrew Luck not playing today. So going to be maybe a tough day at the office for his favorite football team. However, his board does look pretty good. He's got a Jace that's been flipped. He's got 2 copies of Soulfire Grand Master and actually a Jace that's not flipped. However, maybe it's not going so well as he has an opponent in Dan Musser with a Salumgar and a Siege Rhino on the battlefield. Might be cutting into a pretty close game here, actually.
Musser appears to be slightly ahead. And 2 very good cards in Musser's hand here in Ruinous Path and Siege Rhino.
Pretty good spot to be in, I think, if you're Dan. Might be thinking Ruinous Path with Awaken now. Yep, he's going to go Ruinous Path and Awaken. See what he wants to target with Ruinous Path. Quite a few good targets out there, obviously.
Oh, it appears no spells in Bernat's graveyard. So the Jace not as threatening as it typically is.
I'm going to take care of the Jace. The Vryn's Prodigy side, not the Telepath Unbound. Plains becomes a 4/4. Looks like Salumgar is coming in. Going to take care of Jace. Make the Soulfire Grand Master a little bit smaller, but not a big deal because it's not going to finish him off. And now we're going to head back Bernat's way. Again, Bernat coming off a top 8 in Milwaukee just a couple weekends ago.
Looks like Musser has the better board, but Soulfire Grandmaster and a lot of mana in play can catch people up.
Yeah. Crackling Doom can start working its way into the equation then with buyback. So things do get a little bit interesting here, depending on what the contents of Bernat's hand are. Don't have a great look at it, though. Oh, we're coming into the red zone. Well. Yeah, Siege Rhino's blocking 1. That's no surprise.
Yep, show me what's going on.
Pretty much. There's a Gideon in Bernat's hand, but that doesn't matter too much at the moment. Wild Slash. Gonna rebuy that. Wild Slash again. We'll take care of the Rhino. Bernat's gonna gain some life in this exchange, actually quite a bit. Does get rid of the Siege Rhino though.
Now I think Bernat's last play for the turn will be Jace.
Not a bad turn.
Yeah. It's a tough way to get a Rhino off the table, but worked well enough.
Musser looks like he picked up another copy of Siege Rhino. Wants to see what Bernat's working with in the graveyard here because Jace is threatening to flip. Both these creatures are going to come in here. That Plains again, a 4/4 from the Awaken from Ruinous Path, and now Salumgar coming across as well. The follow-up here from Musser is a Siege Rhino. Musser will gain some life. Bernat will fall down to 10. So he head Michael's way. He's going to very quickly activate Jace because he needs some help. I think he may have just found some.
Yeah, he has, I believe he has just picked up Crackling Doom.
Yeah.
And that is a combo.
That was Soulfire Grand Master looking pretty nice right now. Started working down these creatures and gaining some life. And I guess dealing some damage. That'll discard. Jace will flip.
One of his 2 sideboard copies of Horribly Awry.
Surprised we haven't seen more of that card this weekend. A lot of people are pretty excited about that card coming into the tournament.
Well, I think most of the creatures right now that people want to be countering are exactly 4, and so Disdainful Stroke gets a little bit more burn.
Sure. There's a Grandmaster activation. Here's Crackling Doom with rebuy. Musser going to take a look.
And I believe the way that Crackling Doom is worded, Bernat gains 2 off of this.
Correct. Does deal 2 damage.
Which is good because right now, you know, Musser does have a fair bit of pressure going. So it's really good for Bernat to gain a little bit of a cushion while he tries to whittle down Musser's board over the course of several turns.
Rhino gets whittled down a little bit there from the Jace. So it'll be a 2-power Rhino and then a 3-power Salumgar.
And that's a great number here for Bernat, as Musser now with only 5 power in play can't take care of Jace in 1 shot.
You can knock it down to 1. That's exactly what he's going to do. And what is this? Ration Cleric is not all that attractive right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that Bernat's on this very aggressive build, that's one thing, but the game is not about 3 points of life right now.
I'm curious to see how Bernat wants to use Crackling Doom this turn, because one thing he can do is he can shriek the Rhino and then catch Crackling Doom and take care of the Salumgar. So he can actually have a decision on which creature he wants to kill.
Well, it's 7 mana right now for him to loop the Crackling Doom, which means he would really like to have a 2 mana play left over that can kill one of these 2 creatures. If he has something like Valorous Stance, let's say, then he's in great shape.
So there goes the Siege Rhino. Because also a little bit of a weakness here with Jace is he doesn't get to slow down Salumgar now. You know, he gets to slow down a Ration Cleric, sure. Now, Polluted Delta is pretty attractive here, I think. I might be able to search up another black source to cast Crackling Doom, but kind of rather hold Crackling Doom. Let's see what Musser draws. I think another copy of Ruinous Path.
Very important for him to just break out of this Soulfire Grand Master lock right now.
This is not a lot of fun to play against. There goes Jace. Here is Ruinous Path. That's going to take care of Soulfire Grand Master, assuming it resolves. Musser with a pretty timely top deck there. He needed to get that Grandmaster off the battlefield.
And it's good for several reasons here. Not only does it kill the Soulfire Grandmaster, but now it means that the Crackling Doom that Bernat has is killing a land and not Slumgar.
Yeah. There might be a response here where it does kill Slumgar because Bernat might be able to search up a black source depending on what the mana looks like. And I think that he can.
He's got to do it now.
Yeah.
Much easier for him to kill a 4/4 land at some point or block a 4/4 land for a while than it is for him to handle Slumgar. So I think he's got to use the Crackling Doom right now. Though Bernat's still got quite a bit of mileage here out of the Soulfire Grandmaster.
It's been a pretty good couple of turns for Michael. Gets to gain some more life too. Now Soulfire Grandmaster's down. We'll see what Bernat's able to draw. He's got to contend with a 4/4 Awakened Land and a 1/3 Ration Cleric. Musser's out of cards. Bernat has a few in his hand, but apparently nothing to do with them. So here come the attacks. Bernat will take 5. Musser with a Shambling Vent. I think Bernat may have picked up another copy of Crackling Doom. Yeah, it looks like he's got some interest in casting that Crackling Doom. And he does. That'll take care of the Awakened Land. Musser will take 2 as well. Crackling Doom looking pretty impressive in this game. No hangerback walkers out there for Musser, so makes it look pretty gosh darn good.
I mean, if Musser doesn't draw that removal spell right there and there, there may not be no coming back.
Gideon's going to make an ally. Bernat might be taking this one over now. Well, Musser's still got some big draws available. Maybe time to fire up the old shambling vent. Oh, it actually, excuse me, it actually looks like Bernat just, he pluses Gideon, did not make an ally, so never mind. Goes down to 2.
Yeah, nothing. There's a virulent plague on Musser's side of the table, so
okay, got
not
it,
a lot to be done with ally tokens.
That makes a lot more sense now. Oh boy, another Soulfire Grand Master. Siege Rhino the draw here for Musser. These two are going back and forth.
Yeah. We'll see if Bernat has anything to pair with the Soulfire Grand Master in a moment.
Looks like Musser's going to deploy the Rhino.
Horribly awry, disdainful stroke. There's some really bad cards here. Does not look like Bernat has any of them.
Yeah, it's going to resolve. A little bit of swinging life totals. $12 to 8 in favor of Musser now. His top decks maybe have felt a little bit better, but boy, Crackling Doom here from Bernat would change things again. There are quite a few draws actually you can have here. The Soulfire Grand Master on the battlefield. And you see a player rearranging mana like this,
And this
it never
is like
feels good.
Rearranging for Crackling Doom is what it looks like to me.
Never feels good when this is the case. And it is Crackling Doom. Jeez, oh Pete's.
Yeah, that is very bad news for Dan.
Yep. Dan sitting with a languish in hand right now. And Bernat might feel pretty comfortable saying, Gideon, let's go. Get in there.
And you never like having to languish away just a Soulfire Grand Master, but
Probably has to.
I think Musser's hand's forced.
Copy of Jace the draw. This was the fear. If he was able to put back together this combination of cards, Musser would have to have an answer. And even though casting a Languish to kill Soulfire Grandmaster is not the sexiest play in the world, it's got to be done.
Yeah.
You cannot let Bernat keep doing this.
I mean, this is the Abyss Plus, so it doesn't matter if it's a bad-looking exchange. Dan does not have an option.
Standard open players, this is the end of round 13. End of round 13 for the standard open players. Active player finishes turn and follow 5 additional turns. Devin Painter, please come up to the main stage. Once again, Devin Painter.
Now, it doesn't feel like Bernat can allow Dan to do anything with his Jace either. This feels like Bernat has to Crackling Doom this away as well. See what he wants to do here momentarily, but letting Jace untap does not seem acceptable.
I don't like it. I like this as a great start. Put Musser down to 5. I think that's the easy part. Yeah, I don't want my opponent to have Jace, though. Yeah. Put you down to 3. I think Bernat may have drawn a Jace for the turn.
And Jace here is not quite a lock, but it does force Musser to draw very well because he won't have a chump block next turn on the Shambling Vent, or with the Shambling Vent on Gideon, assuming that Bernat activates Jace, has it available at instant speed.
There's a Roshan Cleric. Gonna gain some life, go up to 6.
And I'm not sure exactly what Bernat showed him in game number 1, but it feels like Dan has shown up to the wrong battle.
Yeah, with the Russian cleric has looked pretty bad. Bernat's going to flip his Jace now. Jace at 5. See if it's going up or down. There's Mantis Rider. That might make this even easier now.
Actually, this is a lock. He can make a Gideon emblem and flashback Crackling Doom.
And that should take care of it, or Wild Slash, either one.
Yeah, either's fine, but
Yeah.
he doesn't have to get involved in combat with this shambling event here, and I believe Musser's on no cards in hand.
Yep. See if Bernat actually sees that. Doesn't look like he sees it all the way. Yeah, if he takes down Gideon, it means Mantis Rider gets to get in here for 4.
And he's
then
got
Crackling
he's
Doom
got
or
2
Wild
points in his
Slash.
graveyard, so.
Yep. And he's ticking down now, looks like. Yep, attack you for 4. Looks like he may have found the winning line.
Yeah.
Wants to make sure he knows what Jace does really quick, does Dan. Yeah, that's going to do it. He found that winning line. That turn did Michael Bernat, and he's going to win this match over Dan Musser 2-0. Jeskai Black is going to take care of 5-color control, and that means that Michael Bernat is still in top 8 contention here, coming off a top 8 in Milwaukee just a couple weeks ago.
And, you know, again, it looked like Musser did not have the right configuration for what the game was about post-board. Bernat was making it about Jace and rebuying removal spells with Soulfire Grand Master, and those Russian clerics had nothing to do with the game that was going on the table.
Congratulations to Michael.